Kenya's economy is getting tougher. Jobs are scarce, businesses are struggling, and many young people are wondering where the next opportunity will come from. But according to Kiharu MP Ndindi Nyoro, this moment of pressure might actually be the greatest wealth-building opportunity for Kenyan youth. Here's the strategy he sees could change everything.
I am also challenging us to read. And in the festivities, that is in the month of December, because my birthday is December, I'm holiday. So somebody gave me a book, which I want to request that anyone with entrepreneurial instincts. I have never read a book written by an African businessman that have so much real experiences and real knowledge on business like that book. And I request you please buy and give even the younger ones to read it. It's called Making It Big by a Nigerian billionaire called Femi Otedola. I have read many biographies and authors, but this being an African dollar billionaire, for me it became closer home. And it's very real about even the African dynamics and doing business in a developing country like Kenya, where it is not all straight, some parts are crooked. And it's not hiding it from the readers.
About the journey he went through. And the reason I started with Femi Otedola, you can Google him later, you realize he's a dollar billionaire. And not $1 billion, it's more. So, $1 billion means 1 billion Kenya shillings. $1 billion, and it's not worth that, it's more. So, in the year 2007-2008, you remember there was a financial crisis in the entire world, which devastated all economies, starting with the mortgage crisis in the US and the derivatives, which then boomeranged across all the other economies of the world. And when the economies shrink, what usually happens is that when there is a shrinking economy all the time, all prices go down, because all prices are associated with more production, and more production demands more fuel. So when there was a shrinking during the 2007-2008 financial crisis, this guy was in oil industry in a company, and he had a company called Zenon, which he had been able to grow it in 6 years. I'm already giving my speech, guys. I'm not talking about Femi Otedola. So capture the points. So he had started this business 6 years back. He was, first of all, doing some frivolous business, in quotes frivolous, but they are important businesses. To him, they were frivolous. He was lending money in a small time kind of a business. So he was a young man making money, and he thought, I have a lot of money. And because the company of lending was already doing too well, he was not going to the office. So one day, his daughter, in a class, akaulizwa na mwalimu, what does your father do? Now, Femi Otedola used to wake up very late. Because you have a business running itself, you are young, you are making money, so bother ni ya nini ya maisha. So he could go home late and wake up like too late when the children are already in school. So one day the daughter was asked by the teacher, babako anafanyaga kazi gani? Alikema kulala. And when this guy was told, he was very devastated. And he decided to look for a bigger challenge, which he founded an oil company called Zenon. The point was about crisis. So when he founded Zenon, it did so well for 6 years. But there is one thing I want you to learn from him that I also learned. In the 6 years he was building that company, the guy isolated himself from, there are so many things we waste time on, which you know them. So he cut off. If he was attending 20 birthday parties, he cut them to 4 that mattered most to him. If he was attending social events, he cut them to what was closer to him. He isolated himself for 6 years just to build that company.
and he built it to have a 93% market share in Nigeria in terms of supply of diesel. But that's not the bigger lesson I learned. During the financial crisis, the guy is doing so well, and he already had bought ships because he wanted to capitalize on the supply chains of his business. So transportation, distribution, so he had ships. So he had already ordered mafuta iko high seas. He had bought at around over $130 per barrel. That time, you remember, the economy was overheating across the world. Overheating means prices were so high of shares, prices were so high of oil, prices were skyrocketing. And there is always a nudge that when things are going up, they will also continue going up. So he fell into that ditch. He ordered fuel at $130 per barrel. So he's waiting. US, CNN, CNBC, Bloomberg starts reporting, oh, defaults. This bank is falling. You remember those banks, I think Freddie Mae and some other one there. Big banks started seeing fire, including Goldman Sachs. They had to be bailed by the government of the US. The guy is still watching TV. Price of fuel has come down from 130 to 125. Anavaa miwani aone vizuri. It's now not 125. It is now 118. Okay, the guys close to him tell him, oh boss, don't worry, these things are normal. Mafuta bado inakuja. So he's hoping mafuta itaongezeka bei before it lands in Nigeria. Came down 85, 67. It came to 30. And how the oil business works, those who are in it, it is a hugely leveraged business where you put in your money, but you borrow a multiple of like times 10. So his money was there, he was steering, climbing down. By the time it landed, the guy was at a loss of over $1.2 billion. Akachotwa na banks, akajaribu kuchotwa. By that time, the federal government of Nigeria had started something around business people and bailing people out. All his assets were taken. He went again to ground zero. A non-billionaire. And guys from Nigeria are flamboyant. So when you are a billionaire, you are one. And you are not a very humble one. So he was the same. Otieno, you get me? Kamau, you also get me. And Wafula also is getting me correctly. So they are billionaires who are not too humble for being one. So assets, he had ordered a yacht. He had a yacht. His private jet was coming. Yote ikachotwa. Himself. One thing that we rarely know about ourselves when we are running our small businesses the Kenyeji style is that professionals didn't go to school to waste time. We need them in our businesses. That if he had somebody in that business who could guide him about how markets work, how currency market works, how the cycles of the global economy work, he could have maybe gone for a loss, but no. In some facts here. When businesses, because we have all been in those situations where you do business, and when you do business, you make money, you touch money, but at some point, munaanza kukosana na pesa. Kama huelewi inaanza tu pesa inaanza kuona inatoroka. Some of those periods become an awakening. An awakening also to understand the industry you operate in. It also becomes an awakening. An awakening also to learn that there are other things that happens in the world other than what you know. Because we are stuck on only what we know here. Oh, you know, I graduated from campus, nikaanza dry cleaning. Oh, there's no other business better than dry cleaning. Who told you that? It may take that business to crash for you to know there are better things. And it takes you to first realize that you need these lessons when that happens for them to make sense to you. Otherwise, when such a thing happens, most of the time, people drown. But let me finish the story so that you see why I'm giving these points. So the company crashed na ikaisha na hiyo story akazama kabisa. But within a few months he was back, starting to make ends meet. To cut the long story short, because I also want you to read that book, it's very good, is that he ended up founding another oil company, which is actually listed in the Nigerian stock market, called Forte Oil, Forte. You can Google it, which he again sold a big stake in 2019 for huge money. He ended up investing in a power generation company called Geregu Power, which he actually divested from it this December. Those are some of the things I like reading, where he turned in some of his shares for $750 million US. That's 100 billion Kenya shillings roughly. And he's currently the largest shareholder of a company called First Holdco. He's one of the big banks in Nigeria. Now, I'm not talking about now, mambo ya kitambo, as we speak. So this is a man who was already crushed. The world wrote him off. Now he's roaring. But what do we do when such a thing happens, as I had said before? You are knocked down and you realize, ground now is where I belong. I don't think that's where you belong. Those are the lessons that you must pick up. You pick them up, dust yourself, and I'm not coming here to motivate you. I'm coming here to tell you it's a reality that you can be down now, so down, and the economy may be so rough on you and your sector, but it may take your rejuvenation of the mind and retuning of your mind to also apply the same things you had applied, some of them, in building that previous business, add into these lessons which you never had before, and actually build a more steady, solid, and dominant business. Are we together? So I'll refer to some of the points because I also don't want to talk off the mic, not to say my own things. There are things that, and times, when we get into the wilderness, and wilderness doesn't just happen in the business sector. It also happens in profession. It happens in many ways. Where at some point you know you deserve more. And unajua kuna vile mtu ujiweka kwa ratili. Unaona ni kama niko na uzito lakini mambo ni kama magumu sana. Unaona sasa nimesoma, niko na degree, hiyo ni uzito moja, niko na masters. I used to be a general manager in our small company. I used to be very close to power in my company. But now I am here lost. Some of these periods that we spent in the wilderness, some of you who are Christians, you know the story of Joseph. And you know the story of David. If you remove the wilderness from the story of David, there is no David. If you remove prison, and you remove the brothers who sells their brother from the story of Joseph, there is no Joseph that you will be reading. So some of these situations that come and they push us into the world, and especially in business, they must always be lessons to strengthen our character, but also to build our stamina. But more importantly, to gather practical lessons, so that you can be a better person as you venture into the new thing that is heralding in your path. So don't take the wilderness as somewhere you are there permanently. Take the wilderness as a place where many people have been in. The biggest names you read about in business, like in Dagote, I've just mentioned that gentleman, Femi Otedola. You read about our own here in Kenya. You read even in America. You realize that these guys have had their own fair share of wilderness. And there is a way that wilderness also helps you appreciate when your business is doing well. Secondly, and I just want to highlight just a few. You learn as much, of course, during that time. Learn as much. Learn to diversify. I'm just highlighting business. I was called about investment, but I decided to highlight business first. Because you get money to invest when you're already in active something. When you're doing something active. That's why I'm highlighting these things about business. Diversifying. I had highlighted it. So that you knock yourself and realize, okay, the economy is not doing so well, but is it just about your sector? Or is it also the entire? So you knock your mind and start thinking. Let me come back home, because I also said I don't want to take too much time. I also want us to interact, those who will have questions. Is the economy in Kenya doing well or not well? Not well. According to many of you, well or not well? Is the economy knocking you down or helping you grow? Where you are? Okay. Now. Now. I need to get your that clarity. Not well. Okay. You need one thing. Irrespective of the general economic situation, the person who leaps forward, the person who goes ahead, are also those people who take some time to study where the little money that is there is going. In Kenya today, I have heard your answer about where the economy is going. And my take, sit down, even when things are battered the way we have given that answer, try to check the little money there is in government. Where is it being directed? Because fiscal policy and monetary policy are not just words that we shout in economic classes. They also come and trickle down to affect your own business. So, for example, Kenya, yes, I don't believe in the way we are borrowing a lot of money, securitizations and etc., because I believe we are going to pay for it later. But you as a businessman, I don't think your work is to deal with macros the way I'm saying them. Your work is to deal with where the money is. Just make your microeconomy good. You don't bother too much about the macro. So, sometimes take time to check. When people in government are talking about money, where are they talking about money? Where is this money going? So you realize going this place, so that you start following it there. Because that's a fiscal policy. One of the fiscal policy is spending. One of the ways government makes sure that the money is in circulation is by spending. So if you realize they are cutting spending from water, and you are busy starting a water company, I don't think you are doing your math so well. So even if there is little money and the economy is doing badly, you in your own self-interested manner, you must look at, yes, when the fiscal policy to release money is there for government, they are releasing money using which channels? Mifereji ni gani? Because when you see fiscal policy is about money is here for government, but government cannot come planting money in our pockets. So fiscal policy dictates, you look for ways for money to come to the population, but you can't give it away. So one of the ways is through spending. Government spending is one of the fiscal policies. So if you hear it's about roads, you don't care whether the money is borrowed. As an interested business person, you leave us to talk about borrowing. You follow the money where mfereji ni gani inatolewa. So that where we go hapo. Yes, even that one. Follow the money. But I'm not just trying to say you chase after traders. You chase for any business that has got supply chains that fits into that. So I'm not saying tomorrow you start kujaza traders. I'm also saying you try checking the money around the supply chains that feed into that. However, I need to put a rejoinder there. Anyone interested in growing a business and growing a huge business, know this one thing. Take your time, check Forbes list ever since it was started. Tell me whether you see in the top 1,000 top richest people in the world, whether there is a entrepreneur. Me, I've never seen one. So you also think about that. So I'm trying to contradict myself so that you also, when you go, you think. So I'm here telling you, ugoje pesa kwa mfereji. But the same mouth is telling you, there is no proven entrepreneur who has been in the Forbes list. So it's your business now to know what can be your entry point to money get you in a business that is not subjective, like tethering and the rest, which you have to beg people to consider you, to being in a business that also is driven by demand of your products. Anyway, let me go now to the topic that brought me about investments. I was just highlighting business kupitia pitia. I want to start with jargons, kidogo, but I'll be sequential so that I hope I help you to start learning some of the things I am talking about so that the next time I come, some of you can also take us through some of the new knowledge they have gotten. We all want to make money, investments, because you call me to talk about investments. And investments is about scaling your money. It's about having 100,000. What's the shortest route I can make it 1 million? That is what investment is. And especially passively, where I don't need to tire my mind and my hands. You see the way you say, oh, mi niko job, but nataka tu pahali nitaweka pesa, wewe uendelee tu na kazi, but the money to work for you somewhere else to multiply. Passively is what it is in investments. But there is something I want to, and I'll keep pushing to you until you start doing it. This is a job where you go from 8 to 5. Those who I was, nyinyi tulikuwa na nyinyi some time back pale Nairobi Club. And I hope you started doing what we discussed. So you are here, you're employed as a teacher, and as a banker, and as a journalist. I have seen my brother somewhere. Even if you hide, I see you. With your trademark. Thank you very much, senior. So you are here. You go to work every day from 8 to 5. You use your might, your hands, your legs to go to work, and your heart because you love your work. From 8 to 5, every day a month. So thinking about a business of your employer. And you work diligently, thinking, planning, executing, 8 to 5. And then when you make your 1 million shillings, you go to an investment company to get an expert on investments to guide you on how to invest your money. So you have all the time to think about somebody else's business, and you have all the time to study and execute that job you work for in that ministry. But since you started working and saving, you have never taken one afternoon to even study about investments of your own money. So what do we end up doing? We go to Chama and we are told, hey, nowadays, this is the hot thing. So you put in your money. Because your only reference point to making decisions is your friends. But your friends were also told by friends. And those other friends were told by other friends. Unfortunately, if you draw a family tree of that decision, maybe pare chini, it was ignorant. So we are all here now learned with graduates with masters and degrees. Don't joke with me, I'm an engineer. Don't joke. I have CPA K and I'm BCom. Don't joke. But you are just investing because you went to church during the fellowship. Some guy told you, there is this investment thing you need to do. And you jump in. Guys, let's get serious. Take some time to study one when you're investing your money, because I'll highlight a few options that there are. But take your time always. And I do that myself. So I'm not preaching to you what I don't take. And I don't rely on anyone to know where to buy what. Because if you got 1 million shillings, na ulitumia akili na kufanya kazi ukapata 1 million, and you still need somebody to come show you how to invest your 1 million, then si ukamwachia akutengeneze hata hiyo milioni moja. So start top line here. How is the global economy like? Kuna mtu hapa akona clue? How is the global economy doing? In any way, just tell me in any way. Global economy. And when you say it's doing well, tell me why you think so. Yes, my brother. You are basing on the economy, the market, or what? Markets. Very well. Clap for him. He's talking about one thing called commodities. Majorly. That's what has been coming down. And especially in the last 2 days after the Federal Reserve after Trump named a new Federal Reserve chair, there was a drop in gold and silver and their futures. Somebody else? Yes, my brother? Very good. Clap for him, please. Why did you guys invite me? You have very good guys here. We need a lady. Please say it, because it's important. It will be part of the points I have.
Thank you. My name is Douglas. So globally, the rates control the flow of money. So the rates have been coming down.
Very
CBR
good.
has been rating down. The Fed is rating down. So the rates are coming down.
Excellent. Please clap for him. I need 2 ladies to say something about the global economy. And please, hao ni watu wa chama? Hapana, yule hayuko kwa chama. Okay. And as you say something there is something, my brothers and sisters, I want us to also have in mind. Sometimes I read the book like the one I've told you about. You attend a talk, you get excited, thrilled, your heart is almost jumping out of yourself, and you go home and say, oh, I have read such a nice book. Then after you read it, unaweka kwa drawer. That is wasting time. So what I'm trying to say, the lessons we give because we are learning from each other, including myself, note them down. And when you are doing your investment decisions, try to follow them, so that this kind of sessions stop being for excitement. They start being for action. Let's hear from another professor down there.
Hello. Good evening. My name is Liz. Well, the cryptocurrency is also coming down, especially Bitcoin. It's surging so much.
Tumpigie makofi. The last one, lady. Last. Oh, give her the mic. Yeah.
My name is Laima Mwangi. I'm an assistant governor in Rotary. I also studied economics. So oil prices are coming down. There's oversupply because of the Russia story.
Clap for him. Clap for her. Forgive me, I'm a man, so I am inclined to favoring my... Si unajuaga wanaume lazima tunateteana. Mko na yeye? Tuko na yeye hapa. Wacha niongee na yeye. Oh, ametoka kidogo. Now the last time you saw him was 2 months ago. So I want to be sequential, because as I say, these are critical information you ought to be using for yourself. I will use the same things you've given. Number one, the global economy, the dollar in the last 2 years, the dollar has been losing. And there is a reason I am coming to this point. The dollar has lost in 2025, 8 to 10% dollar. Then people are asking me, how can the dollar lose? The dollar is the global currency, acceptable global reserve currency. So all the other currencies, ni kama this thing we used to do in primary, kijana moja anakaa hapa, mwingine pale, Sikso. But iyo. Yeah. So what happens? The global currency is here. It is dominant. So inalift hizi zingine because it's stronger. So, but remember, there is also this other side. There is a side of the global currency, which is the dollar, but there is a side of Kenya shillings, the the Great Britain pound, of the euro, of South African rand, and the rest. So, when, for example, you hear a government official saying, we have brought the shilling down to 100 and whatever, what basically they are doing is also to take advantage of us as the population. Because the reason the Kenya shillings is actually 130 is not based on the strength of the Kenya shillings. It is based on the weakness of the dollar. And there is a reason I'm driving this point to your own pocket. And if you want to countercheck that, take, for example, the year 2022. In August, the dollar was 118, 119, 120 to Kenya shillings. Right now it's about 130. Can you listen to this? The euro was 116 in the August of 2022. The euro today is 150 to 151 shillings. The great GBP, the Great Britain pound, was around 136 to the Kenya shillings. It is now 173, 174. Kuna moja anasema 177. So everything is relative to something. So the US dollar has been losing. Why has it been losing? Because the global economy expects the Federal Reserve to be the referee of the global markets of currency. So when you are investing, and I'm not talking about Forex, me, I've never even done Forex. This thing will come and affect you as we go gradually explaining. So when you watch Trump in the US talking about, I'm going to replace this Fed chair, and he calls him names, what are you telling the markets? That the US government is the one that runs the Fed. But the markets want to hear that the Fed is independent of the US government. So what does that happen? People start losing faith with the dollar. So when they lose faith with the dollar starts to go down. So that's the reason it's down. Secondly, we have seen in the few days from Friday, again the dollar started to strengthen. Why? On Friday, Trump named a new Federal Reserve chair who will actually attend his first meeting in June to set the rate. So after he named, the market realized this guy is reasonable. He's not likely to be a puppet of Trump. Immediately the market responded because the markets thought Trump is sacking this guy to bring himself in terms of a person who will be doing his bidding. So the market realized that. So the dollar starts strengthening, but on the same side, the alternative of the dollar is what? The alternative of the dollar is number one, gold. So previously gold, in fact, before Nixon in the US as president, the dollars used to be backed by gold. When you had the dollar, the greenback, you could go to the bank, present it, and you are given equivalent of the gold. So from Friday, what happened? When people realize, oh, the dollar can go back to its primacy, to its dominance, then the markets realized these other alternatives are weak. So gold started coming down. So what am I trying to say, guys? You need to understand how the global economy is doing. And the global economy, in terms of investments, is measured by global markets. But markets are not just about commodities. Market is number one, market of money. the market of money is measured by interest rates. So when interest rates are coming down, it means you can get money cheaply. Yes. The other market is the market of this currency against the other. That is the foreign exchange market. There is the commodities market, where you have gold, silver, even you may fuel sometimes is put as a different market. That is also a different market. Oil. There is another market now of the real things that we consume. All those now. So you need to be able, and it will not take you too long, to first of all, understand the dynamics of the world. Why do things happen? Why does this happen this time and not this other time? I guarantee you, you don't need to be an economist to know these things. Take your time. That's the same way you go to work for your employer. Take some afternoons to just study about your money, because how your money will grow is starting there. So you've now known, oh, the rates in the market, the interest rates are coming down. What does that mean? Can anyone tell me what it means? When interest rates are coming down, what does that mean to the global economy and to the markets? Anyone to make an attempt? Please, sikai hapa sana, so give somebody the mic, tuna shout mara moja moja. Anyone to help me do this presentation? Wacha tunajajaruka haraka haraka. I know some of you expected me to come and tell you which chair to buy, but it starts here.
My name is Wajiko from Muranga. When the rates are... my name is Wanjiku from Muranga, Nyoro's place. No, not that one, the real one. There's an MP called Nyoro. Yeah, so he knows Kegumo. So when the interest rates are down, I believe what happens is people are able to borrow more, and so there's a lot of money flowing in the economy, circulating, that is.
Tumpigie makofi. That's point number one. My brother there is the last one, so that we go ahead. You can even shout.
When the people start borrowing, the government start reducing inflation, start monetary policies and fiscal policies to manage
the inflation. Tumpigie makofi. Now you call me here to talk about investments. Now we are almost getting there. The investments are what? What do we call investments? Can somebody tell me where you put your money? One, just out where you are. Boats. Somebody to write for me. Chairman. Jatero nisaidie. Haya. Yes, President Jatero. You should be Jacom. So number one, boards. Number two, yes, MMX. Number three, real estate. Number four, proti. Yani munasema real estate then proti. It's that serious. Because I want us to be practical. Please come help me, my brother. Come here. I want us to be practical. I don't want to be a lecturer. I want us to be practical. And one lady to come here. Because I want us to conclude this together so that you can be doing this for yourself. One lady to volunteer, come. Yes. Yes, even you come. There is enough work for all of us. So, somewhere to write, even on your phone. So my brother here will represent the boards and T-bills. Somebody else's investments is land and real estate. It is you. Okay, another one? MMF is also fixed income. I need somebody else. Come, my... Bas, there. Very good. So you studying for boards and T-bills. You studying for MMX. Kusiweke shares hapo. There is somewhere I want us to go to with shares. You can go, where our boards, peer fixing money in the bank is part of you. Fixed deposit. Commercial papers. My brother here,
is MMX. And unit trust, all those things. So he's here. Huyo ndio mtu ya mashamba. Proti. Na yeye sio proti tu, mpaka flats. Are we together? Plots and flats. Anything that generates rent, not land and everything associated. I want her to get something called shares and private equity. So we go sequentially like that. So when rates are going up like in the year 2023, 2024, all of us, by instinct and by our own self-interest, everyone went into the boards. Yeah. When you could buy a board debt and you get 18%. So my guy is there. How long did that last?
1 year.
Around 1 year. So the rate that was 18%, what is the CBR today? CBR is around 9. CBR is the one set by the central bank. So you are there. So would you go for, can you buy a boat today? Why? Interest is low. Mwenye muna float, ni nyinyi tunaabia. When you hear people saying no, it is you are addressing. So don't wait for another speech. This is a speech. So interest rates are coming down. So globally, how are the markets of interest rates performing? They are going down. How do you know? This is how you measure. Just check what the Federal Reserve in the US is doing. It gives an indication to all the rest. Look at the central bank that controls the euro area. You also check how their demeanor. Is it contractionary or expansionary? Are they lowering rates or taking them up? Look at China, South Korea. You can be sure once you see them going this way, all the rest are following. Do you know why that happens? Those who are noting, you cannot. The reason that happens, when the economies start following each other like sheep, they don't do it because they want. They do it because there are grave ramifications of not doing it. There is something called capital inflow and outflow. So, to give you a scenario, if the Kenyan interest rates here in Kenya, interest rates of a T-bill or a bond is 23%, and in Tanzania, it is 11%, and you are a pragmatic investor, and you are fixing money in the board or T-bills or boards, would you take your boat where there is 11% or 20-something? 20-something. That is the reason why you see an economy like Kenya following like sheep, and the economies of all the global south following the Federal Reserve. Because if you go the other direction, there will be capital outflow from your economy to the other economies. That is why when you started up there, you started down here. So once you see the demeanor of the Federal Reserve, you can write somewhere and you can be sure. The Central Bank of Kenya, they are number one, more Kenya when they meet to know what to do, is the Federal Reserve. For that reason. Because the capital inflow and outflow will also affect our Kenya shillings. When there is outflow, the shilling goes down. Forgive me for being too jargonistic. So we come here. MMX. So what would you do about this investment right now? Given now what you have seen here. He'll follow you. But remember, some of this guy has a leeway to buy more things than boards. Yes. So they can buy shares and the rest. So we'll come to you slightly later and you tell us, now you are the one to answer us. If we have 100,000 shillings, why do I bring to you instead of buying my shares directly? That's the answer you'll give us later, my brother, later. Okay. Are you getting, guys? Yes. So why, the answer we'll want to live with in this room, why do I need to take my 200,000? And I'm operating in a market where there are no limits to how much I can invest. Because once you take money to him, it's not that he grows a tree of money. He invests either in him or in her. So why do I need to take my money here? Why can't I go direct here or here? My brother, you'll give us that answer. You can't wear such a suit and you don't give us an answer.
So we are here. Lad. And I respect all my brothers and sisters in this field because they have done one thing which we need to credit them for. The lad in the last 10 years, you could buy lad na huko nyuma within no time. Shamba ya 300 unauza milioni. Is that happening today? I actually credit my brothers and sisters in real estate. They are the ones who have brought the sanity in the prices of land. Why? Land previously used to be a static supply commodity. So when you buy land in Upper Hill, it is, you have bought land in Upper Hill. So there's no other Upper Hill. So what they have done is to create other Upper Hills. Further na hapo. So the people who thought gated estates zinafika, let's say, Karen, wanya wako Thika Road, let's say inafika pahali naitwa Ridgeways, they come and actually they start another one called Dekio, which is further from town. But somehow, the product there also become premium by the way they have built the estate. So what they have done is to bring supply into the land market. So it is because of that supply, Akina IMG are doing, and other very good real estate companies. I credit them for that. Because of this supply they have brought in the market, now as we are buying, are being told, wake up, you need land only for your home. Because we are no longer in an era where land was a store of value. Currently, the land should be land for use, not as a store of. I can see many people here buying their 17th plot. So, you guys, you remember in Sharks those photos you used to take? When there is baptism, there is a photo where unapigwa hapo na mtu ya camera ya village. Then we all used to have an album at home. Visitor akifika, because there is no TV or radio, your auntie alikuwa anapewa album ya picha. Ati anaona na zingine zimewekwa ndani ya zingine. I thought ni mimi tu, kumbe nyinyi wote. So now we run away from that album to an album of title deeds. So tuko na title deed, masharia gaidho hia. Mnasemaga mimi ni nani? Angalia hii yote album. Na imejaa title na ni yangu. It is good because especially at that time land has really appreciated. And I'm not saying you don't buy land because you need to own a home. All I'm saying is that we need to change our way of thinking and now pragmatically evaluate all investment options there are. So don't just say, oh, land is good, it never loses. It never loses, eh? Sell the one you bought last year. Just sell it. Try to sell. See how it doesn't lose. Okay, then sell. Now we come here. So I may seem biased here because we are talking about global markets. Interest rates have come down. We are eliminated there. When interest rates come down, let's listen to this now. When in Kenya interest rates come down and there was an investor lined up with 2 billion shillings, with 100,000 shillings, with 50,000 shillings, and now they see boats are no longer attractive. Okay, as a human being who is self-interested, what do? You go for what? You go for shares. That is, by the way, you are the markets. That's how the market reason. That is why you see something funny. Not funny, but real. Federal Reserve rate is coming down. Dow Jones is going up. What I mean is this. The interest rates in the US are coming down, but in this month of 2026, the Dow Jones have touched their highest, their record high. In 2025, they touched their record high 11 times. More than 11 times. Yani it touches a high, it retreats a little bit, then it comes again, touches another high, retreats a little bit, then touches another high. Goes to a point where And I can tell you for a fact, this year, the world will have the first dollar trillionaire. It will. Simple. Elon Musk, by today, after joining XAI and SpaceX, his value as of today, you can Google, is already 850 billion US dollars. So he only needs 150 billion. And it's not out of creation of a new business. It will be out of appreciation of the businesses he has. Are we together? So, wewe ni sawa. Shamba tunanunua. Lakini, now, you see the way now, when you sell something, the government tells you to describe. Ukiuza maji, the government forces you to write the ingredients. And when you sell something like another things we use, some of you use. Unaambiwa don't overdo. Yeah, I can see. So, I think now what we need is also for you, now you are the representation of the industry. When I come to your office, you ask me questions. Do you have land? Yes. Unajua ka checklist ile unachekianga mtu? Iko wapi hapa? How many plots? 5. Then, what do you want to buy this? At some point, you refuse my money. You tell me, as a client, as a Kenyan, you are oversupplied with land. Please, we are not selling to you. Figuratively, that's what I'm saying. The economy needs to adjust in such a manner. Because now you have said, I have 8 plots, and I'm in your office. I want the 9th one. And the ones I have, moja niko na caretaker ananiangalilia kwa sababu kuna mtu alikuwa ameweka mawe hapo. Another one, kuna mtu hapo kwanza mbwakali hapo karibu na plot yangu. So, why am I here? And why are we talking about crisis? This is the topic, and I'm summarizing and I'm finishing. Now, in crises are different. There is a crisis in interest rates coming down because they are holders of this person. That's a crisis to them. There is a crisis in land because it's no longer appreciating. The crisis is to the person holding the land. Now, there is no crisis here yet. Because some of the assets are already tied up with this one. So when rates are coming down, money goes there. Now, globally, tick. Now you come to Kenya. Sasa tumetoka Fed, tumetoka Euro. Now, please, guys, let these things not become just these things we are talking here. Let them make use of them. Just Googling these things, you'll be getting them on. If you want to know the price of oil today, Sahi, instantly, you know. Even the graph, you are given for free this info. The graph of how it has been, the dollar, the shares in the US, and such. So, crisis in the economy is dependent on where you are situated. And I hope you have underlined that. So the crisis in the rates is no longer a crisis. It is already an opportunity. So you very fast, this information I'm saying helps you to be him when him needs to be him. But because you have used some few weekend afternoons to study about where to put money, you already have jumped from him before anyone else. And these things are not rocket science to know. Once you study those things I'm saying, that is what happens. So we are in Kenya. Sasa tumetoka US, na Europe, na wherever. So once you come now, you add in Kenya. Interest rate yet 9%. So T-bills, you add something 2 or 3%. Okay. Lad is here. Hey, the one I bought in 2021. Nimetafuta mtu wa kununua sipati. Okay. So you make your decision there. Then somebody tells you, build bana. Nunua. Now we'll make a rentals. It is fine. But before you go there, study the global markets to know, are we in an era of building? Or are we in an era of sleeping and earning? You know, you can't go. Let's exhaust all the low-lying fruits. Before you go kulima pahali, kwetu tunasema dhagari. Yani kuna pahali, kuna weed. Weed that is so stubborn, unalima tena na tena. Before you go to the gari area, kwanza unalimaga kwenye hakuna hiyo weed.
So pick the low-lying fruits before you go to the hard job. So the low-lying fruits, then you measure, you check. Huyo nimemtoa, he used to be good, bye-bye till another day. But I've not kept him too far. Nimemweka tu around. Huyu namuangalia tu kiasi. Because he is already affected by this, and this may affect. But I'm also asking myself, if I know what I give you, you take to him or him. Why can't I get their phone numbers? I talk to them directly. Now we come here. We're already in Kenya. We've decided, let's buy companies. Do you know why I have bias on companies? Market price. Markets inaeka price kwa kitu. But value is not done in the market. This hotel, we may sell it. Let's say it is listed in the NSC. So the shares may be because somebody came, realized the parking is not the way they like, realized the tea is not how he likes the tea. So that subjective reasoning goes to the market and affects the share price. But it has not affected the fundamental of this hotel. So the reason why when the markets are down, you can buy them without minding is because do not buy the shares, buy the company. When you start buying the shares, then you'll get it all wrong because you'll move away from being an investor into being a speculator. Because you'll not be speculating, ikienda juu na 2 shillings, ikienda na hii. Okay, there are people who tell me, hiyo story ya share unatuambia. Me, I bought Safaricom when it was 45. I bought Mumias when it was 50 shillings. I bought Kenya Power when it is 50. Now, that's your problem, as we never bought.
What did you buy?
I'm not saying me, all of us here. What I'm saying is, you never paraded these people here. So you just did what you are told in your chama. You get? But that does not take away the fact that the Kenyan stock market has been undervalued for the last 5 years or so. This is how it is undervalued. This is how you measure how the markets are undervalued or overvalued. If you measure PE ratio of the market, this information is again online. You grade US, you grade Britain, you grade South Korea, you grade South Africa. Kenya has among the lowest PE ratios in the world. We're asking what is a PE ratio? PE ratio is he builds a building. He uses 10 million to build a flat. She. You keep forgiving me because I'm a man. So she builds a flat and spends 10 million including land. Sawa. Higher. The rent is $1 million per year. How long does it take out of rent, net rent, to recover her 10 million? That is what is PE ratio. PE ratio in America, for example, is over 27. That is cumulatively and on average. It is much higher for tech companies. PE ratio in Kenya is around 5. Wow. Now stop even talking about Kenya. Go to sectors. And always when you buy shares, act like you are buying the entire company. That's how you buy value. So that even if the economy collapses, the company is there and is producing things. So even if inflation goes up, you also sell your commodities using that inflation. So it's not affecting you. Because if inflation goes up and you are producing uga, so you just raise the price of uga because of inflation. So buy the value. So after global, national, after national, sectoral, go to sectors. Sectors in Kenya, number 1 is the listed ones. And I'm talking about the listed ones because currently I cannot buy an unlisted company. Because the listed ones are so cheap for me to go and buy an unlisted one. But she also starts for the unlisted ones. Because once you exhaust the opportunities in the listed companies, then you go to the non-listed ones. Non-listed is the ones that are not yet selling in the market. So evaluate sectors from agricultural, the listed ones. You go to automobiles, it's only one company called Nyoro. Automobiles, nyinyi mlisomea group of school mnasemaga automobiles. Sisi tunasema automobiles. Kakuzi, Sasini, the rest. You go to banking. It is the longest in the list of Kenya. ABSA, NCBA, the rest. You come to insurance. Kenya Re, CIC, Sanlam, they are there. You go to investments. They are there, Kina Centum, others which are currently not trading like Transcentury. You go mpaka Safaricom na huko chini telecommunications. So you start the sectors. How are these sectors performing? So that when you put your money, first of all, you are in the right sector. Don't even talk about the right company. Are you in the right sector in the first place? So you check around. How is agriculture doing? Okay, these companies, do they rely on rain-fed or do they rely on irrigation? Unfortunately, no. Most of them are rain-fed. So try to check what is likely to affect the profitability of Kakuzi. Okay, the dollar is stable currently. Okay, so no much risk there. But rain. Try to check now. Although it's time you don't invest. I'm saying although in terms of you already done your analysis. Go to Nyoro, the only one in its region. Check its P ratio. Check its profitability, its dividend payout. Go to banking. When you want to buy shares in a bank, don't even ask anyone what to buy. Never ask anyone. Just Google. One, what is the core capital of that bank? Just Google. AI will give you core capital because of the banks that have operations beyond Kenya and they have subsidiaries. Core capital does not capture their capital in their insurance subsidiary, for example. So you go for something called shareholders funds. Just Google. There are not many. Start with number one. Imagine, guys, by tomorrow you'll have known which share to buy. And you'll not ask anyone. And when you tell your stockbroker, don't listen. Tell them, it's my company, it's my account, buy this share. So, anza pale juu, fanya shareholders funds. Chukua ya Equity Bank. Upate shareholders funds is like 300 billion shillings. Okay, but what is the valuation of the company? It is 250. So it's trading at a discount. Because shareholders funds is like, tukidisband Equity kila mtu akona loan alipe, NPL wasamehewe, mwenye mweka pesa uwabiwa kujia kesho, what remains? That is what is shareholders funds. Is out of the money you put in and the retained earnings. So you put in that money. Uandike tu pahali. Please guys, don't get tired that ameanza mahesabu ya CPA tena. No, just Google shareholders funds upate DOE. Why am I telling you about shareholders funds? It measures one thing. Once you Google shareholders funds, then go to something called market capitalization. Market capitalization is a very simple formula. The number of shares of the company times the price it is trading at. Yani, it is the valuation of the market based on the share price. That is what is called market cap. So now compare market capitalization and shareholders funds. Shareholders funds is the real value without the bone and the flesh. That is the real worth of this company. Now, when you compare capitalization and shareholders funds, it helps you to know one thing. Is the share trading at a discount or at a premium? Awesome. When you get anything, so how do you do it? You take market capitalization, divide by shareholders funds. Yes. Anything you get below 1, the company is trading at a discount. So when you get a company is trading at 0.75%, it's called price to book value. That formula, when you do market capitalization, divide by Shareholders funds, what you get there nimesema inaitwa nini? Price to book value. Price of the share to the price of the book. That's what it means. Price of the market vis-a-vis the book value. The book value is the real one. So when you get 0.75 like Equity Bank, then it's telling you it is trading at. When you get over 1, it is trading at a premium. Now, when you hear me talk about our Kenyan market is undervalued, I'll give you just one citation so that you know how undervalued it is. NCBA, in the last 2 months, prior to the rumor of being bought by Standard Bank, NCBA share was trading at below 70. Standard Bank is the one that first wanted to buy. But because of rebranding issues, another bank came in called NetBank. So there was a competition. We want to buy NCBA. So there was some competition on Standard Bank. Standard Bank is the owner of Stanbic Bank. Actually, Stanbic stands for Standard. It's the abbreviations. Stanbic is abbreviation of Standard Bank Investment Company. That's what makes Stanbic. Standard Bank is the largest bank in Africa. It's a South African bank. So it wanted to buy NCBA. You get me? So NCBA was by then the share was trading at a discount because the share price was below 70 shillings before the first rumor of Standard Bank. These guys came, they bought it at 1.4 to book value. So the share that was trading at a discount, this guy came and bought it at 40% premium. Are we together? So that is the opportunities in the market. Take EABL. EABL share, before there was a trade between Diageo and Asahi, the share price was let me even cite the last week's one. It was 244 shillings. I think yesterday it went up a little bit. Today, 244. Listen to this. They are 65%. They know in the market it's trading at 244. Even today, it's trading. So it's not that it's not trading. But the same shares in the side. You know them now, they are sophisticated investors. Sophisticated means when Asahi comes, they know you do not value a company using the market price. So they know that. And also Diageo knows market price is fundamental and sentimental at the same time. So they go in something called off the market transaction. The share that is trading at 244, these guys are trading it at 590 shillings. So I am just trying to buttress the point that the stock market in Kenya is too low. Even when it has been up, it is still too low. There is a bank I'll give you so that mukienda kufanya hizo mahesabu the price to book mutaziona. You'll go to some bank which you'll think you are wrong when you calculate. I want to tell you not be wrong. The shareholders funds of a bank called Diamond Trust Bank, shareholders funds, is 100 billion shillings. But the market capitalization is 35 billion. Shareholders funds is 100 billion. But if you bought all the shares of that company today, you'll pay 35 instead. Doesn't make sense. What does not make sense is the opportunity. Take PE ratio. I've told you in the US, PE ratio is 27, blah, blah, blah. So I'm now answering you the question. Huyu mtu anaweza kuja hapa akose kutuambia kama tunanunua Kenya Pipeline. Mulimuita kwa nini? Me, I'm not telling you. Are we together? Because I respect the fact that I'm a politician. I have views that I have as a politician, but I am also an investor. So because I respect you, we will add another person here so that we have, all of us will have a small liability. Na nyinyi bado mtasimama hapa sijamaliza kama my brother. We are now in Kenya Pipeline, eh? Kenya Pipeline. Oh, you work there. You know you don't want you to be sacked. And I'm doing this because mnataka kusema yani anaweza kuja hivi na achelewe hata hatuabii kama tununue Kenya Pipeline. Mimi, it will be irresponsible for me to tell you. But it is responsible for me to teach you how to analyze. Is that so? Yes. But this is information that is public, unless there is something has not been disclosed. When the company is selling through an IPO, they give something called a prospectus. A prospectus, the CMA, NSC, they make sure that the information supplied to you is accurate. And if anyone supplies to us information that is not accurate, then they would be liable in future. So Mimi, I am basing all this based on prospectus and information that is you can access, I can access. But I know in terms of Kenya, there are people who, and I'm being honest, may be lining up to do other things with the company later. But that, because I don't know, we may not use it in the analysis. I know there are people who may be also lining up to buy those shares. You see there are companies here and some other companies in Uganda. And you'll see that when the outcome is out. But I also don't know whether they know to analyze the way you will analyze. On whether they are putting their money in the right way. So, you guys, please toeni simu, hata kama hakuna sheria ya kutumia simu. Wenye wako nayo. Kenya Pipeline will be listed on a segment called energy sector. Can somebody Google for me companies listed in the energy sector in the NSC? Haya, please name them. Na muandike pahali. Anyone who is asking that question, right? Because I'm not giving you an answer. It is you to give yourself an answer. So Kenya KPLs, Kenya Power. Please start hapo juu with Kenya Power for the reasons that are important.
Very important.
And you write in bold, tafadhali. So ask with Kenya Power. Go with Kengen. Total Energies. Please write number 1, 2, 3. Write because this is my last point. Nikae chini. Kenokobilo was delisted. Umeme of there is Umeme. Umeme. Ni hizo tu. Si ndio? So hapo ya mwisho BOC is usually put at the investments. So ya mwisho siwadike hiyo sasa tumesema. Inaitwa nini? Andika hapo. Andika. In a row, 1, 2 zimefuatana hivyo. Make a row. Work a line hivi. A column. So the next one, put something called profitability. Net profit. Net profit. Net profit. Umeweka net profit. So ile row ingine, weka something called value. Value of the company. It can be market capitalization. The one that is not listed is the value that's being listed at, which is Kenya Pipeline. Na ile ya mwisho, weka something called PE. PE ile tulisema bado ina, si uko banks pekee, hata hapa iko na kazi. PE ratio. Weka PE. P/E. It's called price per earning ratio. However, and I'm putting as judge, and that's why I can't verbalize what to do, because we are using public information. Haya. Gogo. Tunasaidiana haraka haraka. Gogo, the profit of, number 1 is Kenya Power. Yes. Gogo net profit of Kenya Power 2025. 2025. Tunamaliza in the next 4 minutes. So guys, those who are writing, right? Yeah? Apana, hiyo ni net profit for half. I want full year. Apana, that's half year profit. I want, they released yesterday, I want full year results for 24-25 financial year. Apana, it was 24 billion. Can you just check? Net profit of Kenya Power, pass. Weka 24.4. That's the math. Yes, billion. That's the profit. Can somebody Google for me market capitalization of Kenya Power? Haraka ndio tumalize. Sorry, I've taken so much time for you guys. Please forgive me. Very good. 29 point. Na nyinyi mko huko tuabieni. Because hatutaki decision itoke hapa, tunataka itoke hapa kwa Wakenya. Wote. Sio hawa tu wa Kenya tuko hapa na Otieno na 29 point. Haya, what you do to measure P ratio? Si niliwaeleza. Why can't you divide haraka uniambie P ratio hapo ni nini? P ratio divide net profit divide by. Sana na ile ya price to book, that's a different one. Hii P ratio you do net profit divide by value or market cap. Umepata nini? You divide 24.4 divided by 29 hiyo. Hapana, it's not, it can't be 0 point something. Oh, sorry. Guys, I say the other way. You divide value divided by the price. Sorry for that mistake. So 29.9 divided by 24.4. Which is 1. Perfect. Weka 1.2 there. My sister, right? You are the one, you are our secretary. Please, write for us that column. You are the one to read. The next company was what? Kengen. Can somebody Google net profit of Kengen up to June 2025? They closed their books in June 2025. Net profit of Kengen up to June 2025. Because I want a full year result. 10.4. Very good. 10.4. Please write for us. 10.4 B. Can somebody now Google market cap of Kengen? Weka 63.3. Tunaenda haraka sasa. The next, okay, can you do now the P ratio? 6 point? Weka 6.3. Tunaenda vizuri sana. Haya, we go to the next. The next is? Total. Now, Total is a purely private company. There's no government in it. So Google Total profit. Unfortunately, we can do up to the half year, we times by 2. Because all on a close books this December. And let's use the half, we times by 2. Say Total Kenya profit, half year profit. Total Kenya half year profit, 2025. Total Kenya half year profit, 2025. Somebody to Google that haraka. Kanayo hapo itatueleza. Total Kenya 1.1, so times 2. Like that. Simulashika, what we have done. Since they made that, we assume they may make the same. Because there have not been any fundamental changes in the industry. Higher. Then, what is the market cap? Somebody Total Energies Kenya. You know it's global. Put the Kenya one.
Kenya.
How much?
2.1 trillion.
No. That's not Kenya. Yeah.
In Kenya.
Kenya. Let me show you. It's 6 point something. Just Google for me, Harak. I'll show you. Haraka niambieni tafadhali. Yeah? No, it can't. I'll tell you just now. Yeah? I'll tell you just now. We are finishing, guys, so I'll tell you just now. Total Kenya has 175 million shares listed. Total Kenya. All the shares are 175 million. And the share price was 39. So can you times that? That is the real market cap. You can you can reconfirm later. So their market cap is 175 times 39. What do you get there? That is the real one. 6.84 billion shillings. Anyone disputing with their figures? Because I want us to get it right. You can reconfirm later, eh? So the market cap, if you bought the entire Total Enyades today, the market cap is 6.84 billion shillings. That's the money you'd pay. Now, divide. Somebody get for me P ratio. Please write for me 3.41. Ile quorum secretary. Haya, now let's go to Kenya. Umeme hata junior Uganda kwanza tuachane nayo. Sindio? But you can go do it later, eh? And the reason I'm avoiding it, there is already a transactioning happening. The people who are running it for 25 years, they are still talking whether to sell it to government. It was kind of a lease. So they can jump it. We go to company haina transaction. So we go to the last one, it's called what? Kenya? The one unauliza kama mununue, sirio? Haya. Do somebody has aware of the highest profit, not last year's, the highest they have ever made? The highest ever. It has been audited by Auditor General previously, but if you find it difficult, I'll give you. Yes. That is gross. That is 15 was gross. Bottom line, net. Okay, let me summarize. The highest price they have ever, the highest was 12B. That's the highest. But the one they are using in the prospectus is not even that, it's lower. Because they are using the last year's one. But because we are good citizens, let's use the highest. The highest they have ever made. 12B. Can somebody Google for me? What is the valuation of Kenya Pipeline through listing? Somebody, utaipata tu huko kwa internet. Imekuwa valued pesa ngapi? 163, weka. Yes, somebody to divide 163 divide by 12. I'm not even using the one they are using the prospectus. I'm using the highest ever. Yes, the one they are using is 7 point something. Hiyo hata nimeweka kado. I'm saying we go to the best case scenario they have ever had. 13? Weka hapo. Weka hapo, my sister. Now come read for us the results. Come. Come. Yes. So let me refresh. What does the P ratio measure?
The number of years that you take.
Have you understood what the P measures? The number of years. If you bought that company today, the ones you have listed, how long would it take you, only through the profit, to return all your money? That is what it measures. So PE is measuring period, and the period is in years. So you bought a plot for 10 million. You'll be so lucky that you can return your money in 2 years, is it? Yeah. And you'll be so unlucky if you return your money through rent at the next 18 years. You get me? So that's what it measures. Are you getting, guys? Yes. If you bought a cow today for 100,000, through the net sales of the milk, how long will it take you to recover the money you bought the cow using the proceeds from the milk in net terms? Ushalipa mfanyikazi na finance cost na chakula na dawa, na wewe umejilipa kidogo kama director. So read for us, unasoma kampuni na unaenda PE ratio, which is the number of years, then you'll have answered their question, not me. Mushikia Mike.
Good evening. My name is Christina Gishohi, a banker by profession, and a secretary of this club. So, first company is KPLC. The net profit is, I should read that, 24.4 billion. The market cap is 29.6 billion. The PE is 1.2.
1.2 years.
Yes. Years, 1.2 years. So KenGen, 10.48 billion is the net profit. Market cap is 63.3 billion. It will take you 6.3 years. Total Kenya, net profit is 2.2 billion. The market cap is 6.48 billion. It will take you 3 years and 41 months. Is it 3.41? 3.41.
Yes, yes.
Years. Yeah, 3.4 years. KPC, net profit is 12 billion.
Don't read abbreviations, read the full.
Kenya Pipeline Corporation. Oh, sorry, Kenya Pipeline Company. Net profit is 12 billion. Highest ever made. Market cap is 163. Then the PE is 13.5.
Yes.
Yes.
So how you use that information is up to you. You may be seated. Tunaweza keti niachwe na huyu pekee. This is my last point, guys. Come. So I'm repeating, it's not my business to tell you what to do. I just show you how to calculate. I am more inclined here because I have told you when the markets are turbulent, when there is a downturn, people hold their money not in the markets, but through tangibles. There is a time in Germany, the market collapsed. People were even keeping their money through construction stones. Because, when you hold your money through something tangible, like this mesa, you don't care whether the dollar goes where or where the interest goes where, you still can touch your table. So when you hold your money, that's why you always see when there is a disturbance in the market, gold prices go up. Because people don't want now promissory notes. People are not keen on holding fiat money. Fiat money is a piece of paper. Have you ever asked yourself, I wanted to hold 1,000 shillings. Riobe.